Hello everybody, welcome to my first ever video, which I'm hoping you'll find really useful. I've had quite a lot of friends during lockdown who have been contacting me saying, help, I'm homeschooling and I don't know how to use this, or I've got to do this and I've got no idea what this means. And I found myself sending the same messages and explanations to people again and again. So I decided I'm going to put some videos together. But homeschooling myself has kind of taken control of that, and I haven't posted as early as I had hoped. But I'm here now, and I'm going to talk about sentences today and the 3 sentence types. I'm going to keep it really, really simple, and it's just the 3 basic types of sentences. So hopefully nothing too overwhelming, and I hope you find it useful. So here we go. I'm going to talk first of all about those 3 sentence types. So let me share this with you. Okay, here we go. So there are 3 sentence types. We've got simple, complex, and compound. And essentially, they're the most important ones that you need to know. And this is all the way up to GCSE. You have to be able to identify and write in these 3 sentence types. And they're not as complicated as you think. So let's move on. A simple sentence is, as it says, the word says, simple, and that's kind of how I like to just explain it. It is really simple. It's a basic sentence. It's made up of one idea, which is written as one clause. Don't panic about the word clause. Essentially, it's one sentence, it's one part, it's one idea. It's the main idea, the main thing, and we call them clauses, and you'll see why when we look at some different sentence types. So we've got the simple sentence here that is just always that one main idea. That's what we want to be looking at. So we can see tickets for her European tour sold out overnight. So we've got one main idea. We've got the idea of her tickets being sold out overnight. That's it. Nothing else added to that. So it's a simple sentence. The next one we have here, he walked to the end of the road. Again, he, so we've got our subject. What's he doing? He's walking, end of the road, full stop, simple sentence. There's no added information. There's nothing more to it. They can be really brief. It was raining. I said hello. So they're simple sentences, which are simple. However, they can be longer. So don't be fooled that because it's short, it's simple. Just always think about, is it one clause? Is it that one main idea that we're looking at? So this one here, the boy wearing the black and white padded jacket ran quickly down the road at lunchtime, is actually just one main idea, because we've got our boy, it's telling us what he's wearing and what's he doing. He's running quickly down the road. So yes, we could have just had the boy ran down the road at lunchtime, but this is still a very brief, simple sentence. There's no additional clauses being added. We're not joining anything together. We're not making anything more detailed. So that, in essence, is your simple sentence. Okay, keep it simple. Next one is compound. So I always like to talk about in science, compound is when you join 2 things together, and it's this bringing together of these 2 sentences. And a compound sentence has to then have connective conjunction to join them together. So our compound sentence will have a simple sentence, and they will be joined together to make a compound sentence. Okay, so let's have a look. We've gone with the same idea here. So tickets for her European tour sold out overnight, but, and that's where we then have our connective joining them together, but additional dates are set to be announced. So you can see here that actually both of those clauses, both of those simple sentences do make sense on their own. They could be written as a simple sentence. You could take the but out, you could put a full stop there, and we could turn that into 2 sentences. Tickets for her European tour sold out overnight. Additional dates are set to be announced. So you could write it like that, but with compound is then just joining those 2 together. So have another. So we've got I shivered and turned my collar up. we must hurry or we'll be late. It won't be long until I was fighting for my life and I couldn't be more scared. So you can see here with the compound, it's still these clauses. So we've got, it wouldn't be long before I was fighting for my life is one of our main ideas, our main clause. And I couldn't be more scared is then our second one. Just joining it together with that connective, joining those two simple sentences together to make a compound sentence. And that's compound sentences done. So finally, the third, and people seem to think more complicated, but it isn't really. We have our complex sentence. And this is essentially your main clause, because every sentence has to have the main clause. And then it adds another one, but it's different to the compound, because compound is two that make sense joined together. With a complex sentence, the second kind of clause doesn't make sense on its own. You wouldn't have it as a simple sentence. So it's called subordinate, sub, below, kind of just added information, but it relies on that main clause, that main idea, for it to make sense. So that's when we then have our complex sentence. So we can see the same idea again, and I've highlighted for you in yellow the subordinate clause, the added information. The tickets for her European tour sold out overnight, although there's set to be another surge when additional dates are announced. We can see that if we had put a full stop here and turned that into its own sentence, although there's set to be another surge when additional dates are announced, that doesn't make sense. We can't really start a sentence with although and then it kind of not really go anywhere. So we've got to think, okay, well, this isn't a compound because they don't work independently. So that's how we identify that we've got our subordinate clause. So I lent her my savings because she was short of money. Everything I did rebounded off the wall back to my ears, comma, giving the illusion that there were ghosts of the previous tributes haunting the launch room. And this is the type of complex sentence that people are mostly used to seeing. And they're my favourite ones. Yeah, I have favourite sentences types. Because we have the comma there. And I am going to be putting up a post about how to use punctuation accurately, and commas are the things that people just throw in because they feel like there needs to be a pause or a break. But in actual fact, the purpose of a comma is to identify the breaks in the clauses. So there's nothing here. We've got everything I did rebounded off the wall back to my ears. That could be a full stop. But we put a comma there to identify and show this is the main clause, this is the subordinate clause. And we could do that here. I lent her my savings, comma, take out because she was short of money. So we suddenly realise that we have this comma that actually has a job. It isn't something we just chuck in because we need a little bit of a pause and we don't want a full stop. It's there to break up the parts of the clauses. Now, this can get more complicated because a subordinate clause can go at any part of the sentence. And if you want to know how to do that and embedding clauses, then let me know and I can post up how to embed clauses. And it's all about that punctuation and those commas and where they go. That's kind of our most important thing there. But really, that's it in a nutshell. Sentences, simple, complex, compound sentences. So we have here, while he does his homework, Jack listens to the radio. So we can see here, Jack listens to the radio is our main clause. That makes sense on its own. The comma is identifying there's a break. So we've got our main clause, we've got our subordinate clause. Because while he does his homework, full stop, would make no sense whatsoever. So this one must be complex. The shaggy-haired Siberian wolfhound sat outside. Well, that's just telling us, that seems to me, that's one main clause. We've just got our wolfhound sitting outside. So there's our simple. And then we've got Sophie, I can't seem to see it very well on my screen. Sophie had never seen a parrot before, but she'd never seen one this big. So you can see that we've got Sophie's seen a parrot before. She's never seen one this big. joined together with but, which we've got here. So we've got compound. And that really is sentences. And that, in a nutshell, is what we need to know. So if your students, no matter what age they are, making sure that their sentences make sense, making sure that you're using the right types of sentences makes a massive difference to a piece of writing. But please do not forget, because people do, full stops, capital letters. That's my biggest annoying little thing that even my 15 and 16-year-olds feel like they don't really need. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found that useful. I hope it made sense. And thank you for watching.